This is my fully DIY racing simulator that I've designed and built over the last year. It works amazing, but still misses a handbrake. That is probably the reason why I still can't drift very well, or maybe it is just an excuse, but in any case, let's build it. As always, let's start with the design, which is very similar to the load cell brake that I've previously built, since it works very well, providing a realistic feeling with a very simple and inexpensive design. By the way, if you want to replicate any of these sim racing projects yourself, you will find all the needed 3D models and everything else you'll need on my website, a link of which you can find below. Anyway, back to the handbrake. The central component of this build will be the load cell, which will be mounted vertically, making for a good section of the overall handbrake lever. This increases strength, rigidity, and gets rid of all the complex linkages that are usually used on off-the-shelf handbrakes, simplifying the design and removing the need for expensive laser-cut metal components. The whole handbrake lever will be mounted above a pivot point, with this 3D printed leverage that will press on a stack of springs and bushings to simulate the feeling of a real hydraulic handbrake, with a light initial free stroke followed by a ramp up in resistance when the spring bottoms out. Since the load cell measures force and not position, this will provide for a very modular and accurate input reading, perfect for drifting and rallying. The bushings and the spring will be kept in place by these two arms, and the whole structure will be simply bolted to a wooden base using two SK8 blocks holding the main axle. With the design sorted, we can 3D print the needed pieces and proceed with assembly. First, the load cell can be slotted inside the lever grip and secured with a bolt here. When printing this component, make sure to use at least 5 walls and a quite dense infill to ensure maximum strength. With this upper assembly completed, we can screw the lower leverage to the load cell using two countersunk M6 bolts, before slotting the main axle in place, making sure not to forget the two arms that will hold the bushings in place. The SK8 blocks are next and can be simply slid on both sides before bolting them to the wooden base. I suggest using bolts and not self-tapping screws for this to ensure maximum reliability. Last few touches to complete the build are adding the spring and bushings, which for simpler sourcing are the one used on skateboard tracks. After that's done, we can simply screw in place the end stop to limit the free stroke travel, and lastly we can insert this bolt up front to allow for finer adjustment of the free stroke travel. I also suggest adding a self-tapping screw below this bolt, since otherwise the small screw will easily dig into the wood, thus not working properly. With that also sorted, the mechanical side of the build is completed and working quite well. Before continuing with the software side of things, I want to remind you that if you don't have a 3D printer and want to build a project like this one, you can just head over to Justway and order the parts you need to be custom manufactured. The process is extremely easy, just upload the 3D model, select the material and manufacturing method, and click order. You will get the parts extremely fast and at a very low price, with loads of options that go from CNC machining to injection molding and plastic and metal 3D printing. To test their service, I had them make this awesome stainless steel handbrake lever that nicely matches the other metal 3D printed components that I have on my rig, and it turned out truly perfect. You can find a link to Justway in the description below. Moving on, the next thing we need to sort out are the wiring and programming, which is no difficult task and consists of just plugging the load cell to the proper signal amplifier board and connecting it to the Arduino Leonardo so that the PC can properly recognize it as a joystick. All the connections are clearly explained in this circuit diagram, just double check with the product listing what is the specific pinout of the load cell you got, since if you mix the connections up, you will end up permanently damaging it. Now, with everything connected, we can proceed uploading the firmware to the Arduino. To keep things simple, I hooked this handbrake up to the same Arduino Leonardo that is already controlling the shifter and pedals, and I've modified the code to work with the additional load cell of the handbrake. This script will work regardless of the fact that you have just the handbrake, shifter or pedals, or any combination of the three, as long as you have the various sensors and switches connected to the same input pins shown in the circuit diagrams. Also, let me quickly clear up an issue that some of you had with the joystick.h library. In fact, to get the Arduino to properly register as a joystick, you have to use the exact library I provided with the download folder, and not the standard one from the Arduino library manager. In fact, despite them having the same name, they have a completely different function. So if you installed the default one, just remove it and install the correct one by copying the folder and pasting it in the Arduino libraries folder in your documents. With that out of the way, I uploaded the code to the Arduino and well, the handbrake did not work, because the load cell was broken straight from the factory. This was actually the second broken load cell I got from this specific AliExpress seller, so I've straight up changed the design to work with a different one, which also seems to be more readily available and of higher quality. I just had to change a couple of dimensions, print all the components again, assemble it, and that's it. The handbrake is finally working.
3, 2, 1. Go, go, 40, 3 left, short, and 4 right, and 5 left, and caution, 5 right, brake, hairpin right, 80.
Having a handbrake finally completed this DIY simulator, meaning that I can now properly drift and rally. I am very happy with this build, with everything from the feel to its simplicity and very inexpensive cost. It is quite a simple accessory that could seem useless at first, but depending on what kind of driving you enjoy, it will be essential in bringing you the full driving experience and immersion. If you want to build this handbrake or any of my other 3D printed sim racing hardware, you can find a link to my website below, where you can download everything you need to build them. This simulator is now complete, but the journey definitely doesn't end here. Even though the wheel and pedals are already well refined, there is definitely room for improvement in regards to the shifter, without considering all of the extra hardware that could be added, ranging from a motion system and shakers to a simple dashboard. If you have any ideas on what I should build next, please leave them in the comments. That is it for this build, I will catch you in the next one.